An appraisal is a key piece of any real estate transaction, so it's important to understand exactly what it is and how it can affect a sale. I'm talking with real estate expert Eddie Cash. And Eddie, let's start with a definition of appraisal.
Oh, sure. An appraisal is an expert value of opinion on what the fair market value of a home is based on comps in the area that have sold.
And who comes up with this appraisal value?
An expert in the field who would be a licensed appraiser by the North Carolina Appraisal Board.
So this person is looking at homes that are maybe up the street, across the street, in the neighborhood that are of comparable size.
Absolutely. Of course, some homes are easier to find comps than others. But when a person goes under contract, the bank will ask an appraiser to do an appraisal to make sure that they are not overpaying for the home. And that usually will be within a few mile radius, a house of similar size. We try to compare, for example, 2-car garage homes to 2-car garage 1-to-1. So very similar properties, and then make adjustments from there, that things that the subject house may or may not have, such as a fenced backyard, a screened porch, a deck, etc.
So what are some things that a seller needs to keep in mind so that a real estate transaction can go forward as they want it to when it comes to the appraisal? Well,
that has been one thing that's very interesting in our market. As supply has decreased and demand has increased, just like with any commodity, that will drive prices up. But we are still having to appraise because the bank does not want to loan more money than what an appraiser says the house is worth, which is based on previous sales. So you may get perhaps a % or two better than we were in price, say maybe 6 months ago.
Okay.
But since we are still relying on those sold properties, we have to keep in mind that the old adage of something is worth what somebody will pay for it, you have to remember it's the bank that's paying for it when you're having to get a loan. So you have to remember that they are a key piece to the puzzle.
And is there anything that someone who is buying a home needs to know in particular when it comes to an appraisal?
Remember that your appraisal is going to be a safety blanket. It's a safety net, that you have an independent third party. Your realtor, such as myself, is going to pull comps to make sure that you're paying what we see as fair market value. We give a range of price, but not necessarily one specific down to the penny, such as an appraiser does. So your independent third party who's not involved in the transaction at all, like the appraiser, is going to be the expert value, which will keep you from overpaying for the home.
So if a buyer or a seller says, well, I don't agree with this, I think I need another opinion, can you seek another appraisal?
Well, that is a complicated piece. You can try to do a dispute of an appraisal. If a home has sold, that perhaps most appraisers are very willing to take a look if you want to submit a specific home that they may or may not have seen. But generally, they are looking at the same houses that we are through our Triangle MLS system.
And the important thing, I think, is having someone like you, an expert, who can guide a buyer or a seller along and help them understand the importance and what they're looking at, basically.
Absolutely. No buyer wants to overpay for a property, nor do I as an agent want anyone to overpay for a property just to get into the house. So that is a very important piece, is to have a trusted expert on your side.
Fantastic. Well, if you need a trusted expert on your side to help you through the buying or selling process, be sure to reach out to Eddie Cash. The website is easy to remember, eddiecash.com.